What's up? It's AppleCritics from AppleCritics.com, and I have a very special video for you guys. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about iPad OS 13.4, which is a huge update for all existing iPad OS 13 users. So before I go ahead and start this video, I highly recommend this update. There's a lot of good features. There's official mouse support, so you can plug in a USB mouse or Bluetooth mouse, and you can also now use a Magic Trackpad, all of which I will show in this video. So I'm super excited to get this video done, and in this video we're just going to be doing a comprehensive review of iPad OS 13.4. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. So the first thing that you're going to notice is that I do have a mouse right here. So if I go around the screen, you can see that the cursor is there. And then the way I was able to do this with a basic USB mouse was to have the USB-C to USB-A adapter. And if you look closely right here, this is the USB connection for the mouse. So you can see that is what you can do with iPad OS 13.4 now. Now, before we get into this video, we can go into Settings, General, and then we can go into About. And then you're going to see that you have iPad OS 13.4 right there. And you see that the build number is 17E255. So that is the build number. So now we can get into using the mouse, and you can see what it has to offer. So one of the first things that we can do is just go towards the dock right here. And if we look closely, you're going to see the dock will actually highlight whenever we hover over one of these apps here. So now what we can do is just hover over some apps. So let's say, for example, the App Store. You can just click on it. Now, once we're back in the App Store, you can see that we can just hold down and you'll see all the other apps that are multitasking. So this is a multitasking view. So what we can do is just go into, let's say, for example, the iTunes Store as well. You can just swipe up and we can see that we have the two multitasking right here. So that is what we can do, is just click to get away. Now we can click on the battery right up the top here. So in the top right, you can just click. And then we're going to see our control center right here. So that's just that simple. And it's just easy to see that the cursor is here. Now we can click on the top left. And then you're going to see all of our current notifications. So now we have no notifications, so there won't be anything. So that's really good. So you can see that we have a lot of options. Just click on the mouse, just with a regular click, and it'll actually wake up the iPad just like that. So it's just that simple. You can just swipe up, and then it'll look for Face ID. So it's really interesting in that way. Now, if we have the cursor right here, it will actually disappear after a while, so it won't always be there, but until we actually touch the mouse again, then the cursor will be there again. Now, there's just a lot of great features with just having a mouse. So even with a mouse, that's more than good enough. So that's really good. And then once we're in settings, we can go to accessibility. And now there is a setting called pointer control that we can click on. And under pointer controls, what we can do is actually increase contrast. We can automatically hide the pointer after 2 seconds. So the pointer is also the cursor. We could change the color to another one. We can change the pointer size, the animations, and the scrolling speed as well. So you can see that we have all these features within accessibility and then under pointer control. So if we want, we can change the color to like red. So now you can see it's a red color. We can track it across the screen. We can easily go back. And you can see it'll be red now, so it's really easy to see. So you can choose to have it without a color or not. You can see it will hover over the home button just by going over it as well. So we can just hold it and then go into multitasking just like that. Now the final feature that we can do is actually do a right click on the mouse. And then you're going to see that we'll have the 3D touch option. So a right click on any of these apps is essentially a 3D touch. So that's really interesting. So you 3D touch on the settings with a right click, and now you'll see that we have all these options right here as well. So it's just that easy. So here is what you've been waiting for. We finally have access with the Magic Trackpad to the iPad OS 13.4. So we can pair it with the iPad. So in order to pair it, all we have to do is just simply go on into Settings, and then we can just click on Bluetooth. And then if we take a look at Bluetooth devices, you're going to see that we'll have to just simply turn on the Magic Trackpad right here. And then you can see that we can just simply turn on the Magic Trackpad right here. So now it's on just by switching the button right here. And now you're going to see, let's say, Magic Trackpad 2. So you can just simply tap on it. And now it will be connected. So now you can see that, let's say, Magic Trackpad 2 is connected. So it's just that simple. So now we can get into some of the epic gestures for iPad OS 13.4. So if we go into an app, let's say settings again, and we do a 3-finger swipe up, you're going to see that we're just back at the home screen just like that. So it's just that easy. Now, if we go and do a 3-finger swipe up on the home screen, you're going to see that the apps will be multitasking just like that. So it's really easy in that way. Now, if we're already in an existing app, and then you can take 3 fingers and then just swipe to the left or right, depending on which app we are in. So you could just go back and forth. So App Store, Settings, App Store, Settings, Settings, App Store, Settings. Just that easy with a 3-finger swipe. So it's just really simple in that way. Now, if we go into Safari, there is some gestures. Now, if we go into Safari and then we're just using the magic trackpad, we can go to the navigation bar. So now we can just go to the top of a navigation bar on a website such as ESPN, where you can see they have different categories at the top. You can just simply click with the magic trackpad. And now you'll see you have that drop down menu. So it's just that simple. Now it's much more convenient than trying to use your finger and then just press at the right pressure point to get it. So it's really interesting in that way. Now, say we go to this page. And then we want to go back. And now just simply take 2 fingers, swipe to the left. And now we're back to the home page. Or we can just take 2 fingers and swipe to the right. And we're back at the page we're at. So it's just that simple. So back, we can easily go back and forth, back and forth. So it's just that simple. It just depends on your Wi-Fi, but it's really easy to go back and forth. So that's definitely a good feature that works with the Magic Trackpad. Now, another good feature occurs in GarageBand. Now in GarageBand, we can use the pinch to zoom feature to change the volume sliders. So you can see that we can do just a simple pinch to zoom. And now you can see that the slider is changing. So it's really sensitive. And even with anything that has a timeline, such as an iMovie or anything like that, that's when it's very useful to have a Magic Trackpad combined with the iPad on iPad OS 13.4. Now we can go into settings, and then we can go into general. And then you're going to see there's actually a spot for the trackpad right here. And then under trackpad, you'll see that it says the tracking speed, so you can see the tracking speed, and then you have the natural scrolling, so you can turn the natural scrolling on and off, and then you have the tap to click, and then the 2-finger secondary click as well. So you can see it's just very useful in that way, and there's a lot that you can do with the Magic Trackpad. And once again, you can go into accessibility, and then you still have the pointer controls that you can change that include with increase in contrast, automatically hide pointer and the color, and you have the animations and the trackpad inertia as well. So you have all those options. Now, if we're under accessibility and then we go to where it says keyboards, we have the ability to have full keyboard access. So with full keyboard access, we have the ability to control the entire iPad with the keyboard. So you have to have the smart keyboard case, and you have all of these keyboard shortcuts and commands that you can use in order to control your iPad. So it's simply amazing, that I must say. So what you can do, so you can take a closer look, and you can have full keyboard access by just turning this on, and you can see what it has to offer. So you have the ability to have full keyboard access just by enabling it. So you can have all these different commands, and they correspond to the keyboard right below. So you have the ability to move forward just by using tab, and then you have move backward by tab up, and you can see all the different keyboard functions that you can use in order to just control your whole iPad with your keyboard. So that is really, really good. So to have the app switcher, you just have to press tab and then A. So I'm actually going to give you an example of this. So we can just press tab and then A. And you can see we're in the app switcher. So we're just controlling the iPad with the keyboard. I'm going to do a full video on this, but this is just a short snippet of it. And then we can go to the control center, tab C, and then we can go back by hitting tab C again. And then we can go to tab and then N, and we're in the notification center, go back, tab N again. You can see how simple it is. And it's just that easy. So this is a really big feature, having the ability to just use the iPad smart keyboard to navigate the whole iPad instead of using everything like that. So what I can do is just press tab S. What's the weather in Miami?
Here's the weather for Miami, Florida, the United States today.
And now we can ask another Siri request by hitting tab S. What time is it in Paris?
It's 5:20 a.m. in Paris, France.
So you can see that I have the ability to automate the whole iPad with just the keyboard. So there will be a full video coming out very soon on this. So you can see that there's a bunch of great features within iPad OS 13.4. Now there is some smaller features that have changed. So if we go into the Files app, essentially what you can do in Files now is just tap and hold on it. And then you're going to have an option to share it, and then you can just share it to certain people. Then they'll have access to that file in your iCloud drive, and you can add permissions and they can collaborate. So it has like a Google Drive kind of Dropbox kind of collaboration on a file that you can do now in iCloud Drive. So that's definitely a huge upgrade. So you can make it view only. They can have an option to edit it or none at all. So you have a lot of those great features. Now the Mail app is very refined, so you have a 3-window view that includes all inboxes, then you have your inbox in the middle, and then you have the mail that you're previewing right there. Now what we can do is just tap on the button at the bottom. And with this button at the bottom, you can now flag and unflag. So you'll see that there's colors under there, and it's just really easy to do now. And then you have mark as unread, move message, active message, move to junk, and then mute. So it's really just that simple. Now when you go in the Apple TV app, you're going to see that it's now organized. So before you would have to sort by a genre, but now there's actually genres. So if we go to TV shows, and then we take a look, you'll see that there's actually genres for them now, and it's much more organized. You can go into library and then go into search. So it's really good compared to how it was. Now, if we do go into settings, we go into the Apple TV settings, you're going to see that we have the option for streaming options that are in Wi-Fi and high quality, or you can tap on it and then it'll go to high quality and data saver. And then you're going to see that you have Wi-Fi download options that include fast downloads or high quality downloads. And then you have audio languages, and then you have Siri search, notifications, and much more. So you can see you have all those options. And then what you can actually do is go into the notes. And when we're in the notes, you can take a look at the Memojis. There's going to be 9 new Memojis on your device. Now, in terms of the bug fixes in iPad OS 13.4, there is just a bunch. Now, to highlight a select few, it would be that it fixes an issue in the camera where the viewfinder may appear as a black screen after launch. So that was definitely a prevalent issue that was very annoying, but now it's been fixed. And they also fixed an issue in photos where it may appear to use excess storage than it actually does. So that was also confusing. Now, also, it was good to see that they fixed the issue in Safari where a CAPTCHA title may display incorrectly and then have issues with that. And then there's also an issue in Safari which resolved an issue where text copied from web content in a third-party app may appear invisible when it is posted if dark mode is active. So that was super confusing, I must say. Now, there is a issue that was fixed in Mail in which the messages may appear out of order. So that one was fixed. And it also resolved an issue in Photos that may prevent sharing an image to messages if iMessage is disabled. So those were the key highlights of all the bug fixes within many of the bug fixes that I must say that Apple did a great job with in iPad OS 13.4. Now, in conclusion, iPad OS 13.4 is one of the largest updates in iPad history. It brings the ability to use your keyboard to control your whole device. It gives you the ability to use your mouse also able to control the device. And especially, it allows you to use a magic trackpad to control your iPad. So those are 3 unique reasons why you must update right after watching this video. It just gives such functionality to your iPad, and it just feels like it's a MacBook Pro. It feels greater than just a tablet. It feels like it's in an upper echelon of somewhere between better than an iPad, but slightly below a MacBook Pro. But it's coming close to filling that gap. And especially with the Magic Keyboard and the new iPad that's out, it's just becoming more and more usable for your daily lifestyle, I must say. Now, in terms of performance, games, video watching, everything is solid and everything is what you expect in an iPad, so there's no complaints there. Now, lastly, in terms of battery life, It's basically the same as 13.3.1, and all the new features are here and a lot of great functionality and uses for the iPad now, and the battery life is basically the same. Now, I will touch on battery life about a week from now where I've been using the update for the iPad so I can give you a comprehensive breakdown in the details and the charts and the graphs and everything that you need to know when it comes to the battery life. So that is what I will do in a week's time, so stay tuned for that video. Now, it's just harder to gauge the battery life when you don't charge your iPad as much as you charge your phone, since it's two completely different batteries and two completely different uses. You're using your iPhone all day, but probably not your iPad. You turn it on here and there, do some quick tasks, maybe look at mail, browse the web, look at YouTube. But other than that, you're not using your iPad as much as your phone, so the battery life and usage is going to be much different. Now, should you update to iPadOS 13.4? The answer is yes, because you get that trackpad and that keyboard functionality. The update is huge. It just makes me even more excited for iPadOS 14 and what Apple has up their sleeves. I'm very excited. So yes, you should definitely update. So the Magic Trackpad functionality just alone is just very smooth, and I highly recommend that you order one at Apple. So once again, this was Apple Critics giving you the detailed breakdown of iPadOS 13.4. I've been waiting for an update of this quality for a long time, especially looking at the iPadOS 13.4 Beta 1. So it's finally here, so I'm glad to take a look at it and show you all the details. So once again, this was Apple Critics. Be sure to check out applecritics.com for this Apple news, news, and more. At facebook.com/applecritics. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/applecritics. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/applecritics. Be sure to comment down below of what you think of iPadOS 13.4, and we can carry on a conversation down below in the comment section. And also be sure to smash the like button down below. And once again, this is Apple Critics, and thanks for watching.